When you think of the Ed Sullivan Show, what's the first thing that pops into your head? For most people, it's the Beatles, that iconic 1964 performance that launched the British invasion and cemented their place in American pop culture history. It was a moment that changed music forever. But the Ed Sullivan Show was a star-making machine long before the Fab Four ever stepped on its stage. This was the show that brought legends like the Rolling Stones, Elvis Presley, Janis Joplin, and Ella Fitzgerald right into America's living rooms, and on one very special day, December 1st, 1957, the show hosted a band that would help ignite the rock and roll revolution, Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Now, it's tough to say that any single band single-handedly launched rock and roll into the mainstream. It was more like a perfect storm of incredible talent. You had trailblazers like Bill Haley and his Comets, the undeniable charisma of Elvis Presley, the poetic genius of Chuck Berry, and the beautiful harmonies of the Everly Brothers. Little Richard, Ritchie Valens, the Drifters, they all played a crucial part. But right there in that pantheon of rock and roll pioneers, you'll find Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Their influence on the sound, look, and feel of popular music is just immeasurable, and a huge part of their story. A major milestone on their path to greatness was their debut album, The Chirping Crickets, and of course, their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show on this very day in 1957. By 1957, The Ed Sullivan Show wasn't just a TV program, it was a cultural institution. It had been on the air since 1948, and for nearly a decade, it had been the ultimate stage for popular entertainment. If you were a musician, getting booked on Ed Sullivan was like winning the lottery. It was a sign that you had officially made it, or you were about to. The show had this incredible power to introduce new sounds and artists to the entire country. It helped pave the way for genres that were still on the fringes, like country music, giving a national platform to artists like Johnny Cash. So, when Buddy Holly and the Crickets got that call, they knew it was their big shot, and they didn't waste it. Their performance that night didn't just get them noticed. It turned them into one of the biggest bands in America, seemingly overnight. So, picture this. It's December 1st, 1957. Families across the nation are gathered around their television sets. Ed Sullivan comes out and introduces this young band from Texas. Buddy Holly and the Crickets walk onto the stage, all four of them Nicky Sullivan on rhythm guitar, Joe Malden on bass, Jerry Allison on drums, and of course, Buddy Holly front and center looking sharp in their classy sports coats and bow ties. They weren't just a band, they were a complete package, and then they launched into their set. They performed two of their soon-to-be classic songs, That'll Be the Day and Peggy Sue. The energy was electric, Holly's unique, hiccuping vocal style, the tight musicianship of the Crickets, and the sheer infectiousness of the songs. It was a combination that America simply couldn't resist. They didn't just play music. They performed with a confidence and charm that won over everyone watching. The impact of that performance was immediate and explosive. In the weeks that followed their appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show, Buddy Holly and the Crickets skyrocketed up the music charts. That'll Be the Day, which they had performed with such gusto on the show, went all the way to #1 on the Billboard Hot 100. It was a massive hit. Their other featured song, the instantly memorable Peggy Sue, wasn't far behind, climbing all the way to the #3 spot. Suddenly, these four guys from Lubbock, Texas were household names. Their music was blasting out of radios and jukeboxes from coast to coast. They became a major cultural and commercial force, defining the sound and style of a generation. And while their talent was undeniable, you can trace that massive wave of success back to one pivotal moment. It all kicked into high gear on this day, December 1st, 1957, on the stage of the Ed Sullivan Show. It was the night that Buddy Holly and the Crickets truly arrived. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this look back at a key moment in music history, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more stories like this. We'll see you in the next one.